This is my litRpg, and you are listening The Awakening Trials Book 1 of a litRpg novel series, The Eternal Ascent. Chapter 3, The Weight of the Unknown. The walk back to my apartment felt surreal, like I was moving through a dream. The world around me seemed unchanged, the same streets, the same buildings, the same quiet morning routine, but everything felt different. The integration with the system had left me disoriented, my mind struggling to grasp the enormity of what had just happened. As I entered my apartment, I closed the door behind me and leaned against it, letting out a long, shaky breath. My heart was still racing, and my thoughts were all over the place. What had I gotten myself into? What was this system, and why had it chosen me? I walked to the small kitchen, poured myself a glass of water, and sat down at the table. The glass felt cool in my hands, a small anchor of normalcy in the storm of confusion that was raging inside me. Took a sip, trying to steady my nerves. The system had given me a glimpse of something extraordinary, an opportunity to grow, to gain power in a way that was impossible in the ordinary world. But with that opportunity came a flood of uncertainty and fear. What did begin growth mean? And what exactly was I supposed to do next? I closed my eyes, trying to calm the storm in my mind. Maybe the first step was to try to understand the system itself. The information window had appeared when the system was introduced, so maybe I could bring it up again. I focused on the idea of the system window, willing it to appear. To my surprise, the translucent window materialized in front of me, hovering just above the table. The same information was displayed: my name, level, stats, and the single skill I had been given. Insight.
Name Chris, race human, level 0, strength 10, agility 10, endurance 10, intelligence 10, wisdom 10, luck 10, vitality 100, mana 50, skills, insight level 1.
The sight of it was both comforting and terrifying. It was tangible proof that what had happened wasn't just a hallucination, but it also raised more questions. What did these stats mean? How did I increase them? And why was everything set at 10? I decided to start with the skill, insight. The system had mentioned that it could be used to gather information, so it seemed like a good place to begin. I focused on the skill, willing it to activate. Nothing happened at first, but then I felt a slight tingling sensation in my mind. It wasn't uncomfortable, just different. The window shifted slightly, and new text appeared, providing a brief description of the skill.
Insight level 1. A basic skill that allows the user to gather information about living beings and objects. The information provided depends on the level of the skill and the disparity in level or rarity between the user and the target. At level 1, basic information such as species name and level will be displayed.
The description was vague, but it was something. Insight was a tool for gathering information, but its usefulness would depend on its level and the difference in power between me and whatever I was trying to analyze. I looked around the room wondering what I could use the skill on. My apartment was as ordinary as they came, nothing particularly interesting or valuable. But then my eyes landed on the small potted plant on the windowsill. It wasn't much, just a little green fern I had picked up months ago, but it was alive, so it seemed like a good test. I focused on the plant and willed insight to activate. This time, I felt a brief flash of warmth in my mind, and then the system window changed again.
Target, small fern, species plant, level 0. Information, a common houseplant, requires minimal sunlight and water to survive.
I blinked in surprise. The system had actually given me information about the plant, even if it was just basic details. The concept of a level 0 plant seemed ridiculous, but I wasn't about to question it. This was just a test after all. But what about something more complex? I stood up, my mind racing with possibilities. If insight could give me information about living things, what else could it do? Could it analyze people, objects? What about something valuable like the small jade figurine on my shelf? I walked over to the figurine, a small piece I had picked up at a flea market years ago. It was nothing special, just a trinket, but it had always intrigued me. I focused on the figurine, willing insight to activate once more. The system responded immediately.
Target, jade figurine, rarity common, information, a small figurine carved from jade. No special properties.
No special property. That figured, it was just a cheap ornament after all. But the fact that the system could analyze objects as well as living beings was intriguing. The idea that there might be rare or powerful items out there, waiting to be discovered, sent a thrill through me. This was real. The system was real, and it was offering me something incredible. But it was also overwhelming. I had no idea how to navigate this new reality. No idea what the next step should be. The system had integrated with me, given me this power, but it hadn't provided a manual or instructions on what to do. And then I remembered the last words the system had spoken: begin growth. What did that mean? How was I supposed to grow? Did it mean leveling up? But how was I supposed to gain experience or essence or whatever it was that systems usually required? I sat back down at the table, staring at the window in front of me. The sense of anticipation was back, stronger than ever. Something was about to happen, something big, but I had no idea what, or when, or how to prepare for it. I closed the system window and leaned back in my chair, letting out a long breath. The ordinary life I had known was gone, replaced by something extraordinary and terrifying. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew one thing for sure. I couldn't go back to the way things were. Not now, not ever. And deep down, a part of me was excited by that prospect.
Thank you for listening to the story. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to click on the like button. We will release a new chapter every 2 days.